Hey there, superstars. It is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer, and coach from Live, Love, Give. And today I'm coming to you with a message. I'm back home. I feel like I've been away for a couple of weeks, but I've been in Melbourne and Sydney and all sorts of stuff going on, as you guys have been following along. But I'm finally back at home, and I wanted to deliver this particular message for you guys today, all around how you're perceived and your authenticity. So that's exactly why I have titled today's message for you guys all about the question of, do you sacrifice your authenticity in order to be perceived by others in some sort of specific way? Or do you sacrifice how you may be perceived by others so that you can just be authentic? Okay, now this is a contemplation that, I feel like my whole life journey, a lot of it has been all about, and I know I'm not alone on this, when we can get caught up in how we're perceived in the external world and trying to mold ourselves in terms of, being fearful of the judgments and the criticisms and the opinions of other people. And I know that all too well. But also, it's that battle between, what are we going to value more so? Because at the end of the day, one is going to be sacrificed for the other. It's just kind of the way that it is. We're going to have to either sacrifice our authenticity if we overvalue, and worry more. We're more concerned and more valuing, how we're going to be perceived by others over and above us being in alignment with our truth, versus the other way, which I think is a much more empowering way, and one that, has taken me many years of my life to actually get to, and I definitely always need to check in with this, but ultimately to get to the point where it's so much more valuable and important to you to align with who you really are and what's authentic to you, and not worry so much about, other people's perceptions of you, and that's difficult, because like I'm always talking about with you guys, and I think I did a message about this just last week, where we are in that survival mode. We have that fear of standing out because that puts us in the spotlight of other people's judgments and opinions and all the rest of it, right? And but we all have that yearning to just be who we are. There is nothing more inspiring and enlivening than seeing people show up as their true authentic selves. I think that authenticity is that thing that we're all uniquely, not universally, I should say, not uniquely, we're universally drawn to. When somebody shows up and they're just authentic, it's like, even if we don't know that's what they're being, it's just so, it's so intriguing. We're drawn to that person. We're like, I don't know what it is about that person, but I really like that, And then there's others of us who are potentially threatened by somebody showing up in their so-called authentic way, because we also, as human beings, all have our triggers. None of us are free from that. We're all human beings. But, when you can get the perception in your mind that everybody outside of you is merely a reflection of what's going on internally, then you're going to be able to be empowered when you are triggered by other people's expressions in the external world, whether they're coming from an authentic place or they're trying to change your perception and be perceived a certain way, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, everything comes down to what's going on inside of you. Why are you doing the things that you do? Stop worrying about everybody else. I mean, if there's people in our lives and we can see that, maybe they aren't being, they're not operating in an empowered way, then yeah, if we love them and we care about them, of course we want to have that conversation with them. But what I want to, talk to you guys about today is some of the challenges that I've definitely had in my life, in terms of just how I'm perceived based on how I show up in the world. And I am constantly being hit with challenges. So I'm going to run through a couple of them with you guys, and I'm hoping that this resonates with you guys. But ultimately, some of the major ones that I'm constantly battling are my enthusiasm and my engagement with anybody that I meet. Man, woman, child, old person, whatever, whoever you are, I am fascinated by human beings. So if you're in my presence and if you're right in front of me, I'm going to fascinate over you. I'm going to shower you with my enthusiasm, my engagement. I'm intrigued by you as a human being. And sometimes that's misinterpreted. Sometimes, this has happened for me many times in terms of potentially men that I meet and connect with, and I'm totally just being me, and that's that authenticity and that enthusiasm and my intrigue for you as a human being can be misinterpreted for me being interested in that person in more than a fascinated way, but more of a intimate way. I've definitely had that. And, I think you guys who've been following me for a while now, you may have even experienced this. You may have even seen different people coming through as, following my work and all sorts of stuff, who come and go, and maybe they're very engaged and then they're not so anymore. And, at the end of the day, this has happened for me so many times over the years that people get the wrong idea. They make the wrong assumption about why I do what I do. They think it's for a different reason, and then see the other side and see that I treat everybody. I give everybody love hearts. I give everybody equal amounts of love, because that's just me showing up and loving who you are as a human being. So that can be a challenge, and it's definitely been a challenge in terms of my actual relationship as well, and people getting threatened by the fact that whoever's in front of me has got my undivided attention and love and all that sort of stuff. And it does definitely get looked at in the wrong way, and I've had to battle this and choose my authenticity rather than doing what I've done in the past, which was to cut myself off completely from men. I did in my last long-term intimate relationship. Nobody ever asked me to do this stuff, but it was my perception. I never wanted my partner to feel jealous or to feel like they had anything at all to worry about. And so I pretty much didn't have any male friends, any male contact. I didn't actually have my first male client until I left that relationship and started my own business. Nobody asked me to do that. That was me being so worried and concerned about what other people would think of or get the wrong idea. But just that's one of the things that happens for me. Another is, my love for beauty and dresses and makeup and hair and all my feminine stuff, right? And you guys have seen I've got so many pictures, right, on Facebook. And I was actually just yesterday, it was a really interesting day for me, because every now and then I do get some criticism from men and women, from both alike, who, are concerned about why I post images that I have. And to be honest, I haven't posted any pictures of myself for a while now, but I was posting pretty much every single day pictures of myself. And that was a new thing for me as well, because when I was in that cutting off stage, I didn't even post one single thing on my personal profile. I was so overly concerned about what people could perceive me as, the reasons why I'd be doing that. And so I cut myself off completely, and I only posted from a Facebook page that was a joint account with my now ex, right? So I had a lot of being overly concerned about those judgments and perceptions from the external world. Now, with those pictures, I just want to talk about it, because yesterday I got a couple of different people just really not liking a post that I shared from a year ago. So I was at an event. You guys can probably see that I share a lot of my past content, because I've created so much content that, my memories come up, and I've got, videos from last year and the year before, and I'm like, this might serve somebody, and I've got posts and everything. And so if I'm at events and things, I just reshare that stuff and I repurpose it in the hope that it will be of value to you guys. And maybe you've seen it a year or two ago, maybe you haven't, maybe it's new to you, maybe it's a great reminder, whatever. But I was at this event and I shared the next thing that popped up on my memories. And I got some criticism for it, and I actually spoke to a coach of mine and got them to really, really look over, what I was doing and have a look at it and go, oh, like, I don't, this is interesting, like how people are perceiving this, and, looking into that stuff. And, it definitely, my coach was saying, people might get the wrong idea by this and that. And it wasn't something that I didn't know. Like, I did kind of realize that, but I've been in that battle of, do I just dull myself down and not just show up as me, or do I just be me and not worry about if people are going to get the wrong idea? I guess my perception is they can look at the whole range of my content and see why I do what I do. And if they're going to get the wrong idea by one post, then they really do need to look at their work that they're doing on themselves as well. But, just to talk into that for a minute, the posts that I've done and the pictures that I've posted out and that people have maybe got a bit offended by or got the wrong perception of, honestly, at those times, they have just been a capture of me in the moment. Like a post I put out yesterday, I did really look at it after I got some criticism. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, it's the only post I've done that's like I was actually a little bit embarrassed after I got that. I was like, I didn't look at it that way. Sometimes I'm just kind of naive to that perception. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, there's an element of truth. I don't want to be like, there for the wrong reasons and attracting the wrong attention. But in that moment of me taking that photo, honestly, I was at a point where I was just so in love with life. It was like a capture of a moment, At that time, I was just about to leave to go away to Europe. I'd met somebody incredible in my life, and I was in total infatuation, to be honest. But, call it love, infatuation, whatever. But it was a capture of a moment that was really authentic for me. And, a big part of the work that I love to do is to just be me and to spread positive energy, to spread a smile, to spread the joy, to not just, when we experience something great in our lives, the first thing that we want to do with that is we want to share it with other people. We want to magnify it. And honestly, that's why I've done that, but I can definitely see why the people, some people have gotten the wrong idea, but at the end of the day, of course I don't want people to get the wrong idea, but, those who follow me and take the time to get beyond one singular post and they look at the hundreds and hundreds, like I've done hundreds of videos, I'm getting up to almost 1,000 videos that I've done, right? And the same similar amount of posts that I've done, written posts. And, if you're going to take one picture and, get all aggravated by that and, then that's more so on you than it is on me, even though I will absolutely always take a look at what's the element of truth in the criticism, because there was an element of truth. I just wasn't aware of it. I didn't look at it that way. And I was a little bit woken up to that. And that's definitely not what I want to do, but it still puts you in the position in your life of, at the end of the day, are we going to worry about how we may or may not be perceived by others, or are we going to be more valuing of just being authentic, right? Because at the end of the day, you've got to sacrifice one or the other. And I would much rather have the whole world against me than have my soul against me. Like, know that I'm not being who I am. And, a big part of that is because I've lived a whole bunch of my life not knowing who the hell I was and just kind of molding myself to the expectations of those around me that I wanted the love and approval and acceptance and validation from. And so I even more so highly value just being all of who I am and not letting my fears and insecurities about judgments and perceptions and people who want to post criticism on your posts and whatever. I don't want to let that change who I am. And yep, okay, I admit it. Like a thing for me is that I am naive. I am a lot of the times naive to how these other perceptions can come about, how I can be perceived as, being maybe flirtatious or, being, showing that I'm attracted or something to somebody just because I'm fascinated by them. I'm naive a lot of the times to that fact. I'm also naive to how I may be perceived if I post a picture of myself in a joyful, happy moment or whatever's going on. I'm also, at the end of the day, I may be naive to that, and it may be a challenge for me. It may be a quote unquote weakness, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's also a strength because I do assume the best. I assume the best of people. I assume the best of myself. I assume the best of why we do the things that we do. And I don't let, my fears and insecurities get in the way of that. And I'm kind of proud of that, so I don't care if sometimes I'm naive and have to be woken up to a rude fact that maybe everybody else can at times see but me. But at the end of the day, every time I've been hit with one of these challenges where I've been perceived in a way that I wasn't intending, I've had to be put into a time of contemplation. I need to sit with myself. I need to contemplate. I'm like, what is the element of truth here? What are people saying, right? And what are people seeing? Because I don't want to turn people off. Like, the reason why I do what I do is to be of value and to spread the joy and the love and the enthusiasm and the energy and, the inspiration to just reach for your potential. And, I want to create a community of like minds who my success is your success and your success is absolutely my success. That's the quality of people who can, have positive intent for the reasons why we do the things that we do. And at the end of the day, I heard this at one of the JT Fox events that I've been going to, because I've been going to a few lately. But he said, at the end of the day, 25% of people are going to like you no matter what, right? They're just going to love you. They're going to love you no matter what. 25% of people are going to like you, but they're going to look for reasons as to why they shouldn't like you. The next 25% of people are not going to like you, but they're going to be trying to look for reasons why they should like you. And then finally, the final 25% of people are just not going to like you no matter what, right? So there's a reason why I don't end up replying to people who put negative criticism. I don't delete it either, because I think that it's an open for discussion, conversation. And, I want to be authentic. I don't want to delete stuff like that. I just want to leave it. And if that's the trend, then people can engage in that. And it just gets us all looking at it and having a conversation. And I don't mind, that stuff being said, because I'm not triggered by it, because I know why I do the things that I do. But I don't waste my time trying to convert the unconvertible either. Then I'm not going to be the person for everybody. I'm not going to be the right messenger for everybody. And that's okay, because there's plenty of other people who are going to be that right messenger. And I'm not going to stand there and, put 85% of my energy into the 25% of people who just aren't going to like me no matter what I say or do. And they're just maybe looking for a reason, as to why they can pinpoint that. So I hope that you guys do the same. And at the end of the day, when I do contemplate, I always come down to the fact I just need to show up and just be me. I just need to be consistently authentic, and I need to show up with love and just be of value. That's it. That's what I always come up with. But, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be questioned at times, and, we need that. We need some external feedback to go, hang on, did you get off track here? What's going on? And, I value that, but I'm not going to waste my energy on that. And I hope that me sharing this message with all of you superstars out there today is actually just getting you thinking about which side of the fence do you sit on? Which one are you sacrificing? Even though I freaking hate that word sacrifice, right? It's not a word that I ever like to use, because I think that we can be intelligent about how we get our needs met. And I don't think we should have to sacrifice. But in this particular circumstance, unfortunately, it comes down to the fact that people are going to be threatened by who you really are. But at the end of the day, if I talk into what Dr. John Demartini would say, duality, right? At any given moment, it's going to be 50% positive, 50% negative. 50% of people are going to love you, 50% of people are probably going to hate you, right? So I would rather be loved by the 50% of people who love me for the truth of who I am, no matter how bright I'm shining or how I'm operating, than loved by the 50% of people that I have to sacrifice my truth for, my authenticity for, and I can't be who I really am. I've done a lot of that in my life. I refuse to continue to do that. And at the end of the day, also, the more you put yourself out there, the more you open yourself up to judgment and criticism from the external world. So it's kind of, I look at it as the more challenge you get from your external world, the more opportunity you get to ensure that you are absolutely in alignment and you're having the feedback and that kind of like, stop, start, that gives you an opportunity to actually contemplate the reasons why you do what you do. So I absolutely love all of you guys, and I know that absolutely hope that you guys who've been following me for a while absolutely know why I do what I do. If you don't, we can have a conversation, but I'm not here to convert the unconvertible. I'm here to serve those who connect with me, and I'm so honored by the trust that you guys put in me. So I would never do anything to jeopardize that, and I hope you know that from the bottom of my heart. And I absolutely can't wait to connect with you guys. And I know I've been on a total rant, but yeah, I'm just kind of really passionate about this, and I just think it's really important, because there's always going to be those people who are harsh or judgmental or critiquing you, and you've just got to have the strength and the empowerment to be able to deal with that. And if it does trigger you and really throw you off your path, that's the work you've got to do, So that's when those people can be really valuable. If you're getting really triggered by what they say, then they're really speaking some truth to you, and you've got to do some work, and you've got to question why you do what you do. And if you're not getting thrown off by those people, it's also good to just stop and contemplate and see what's the element of truth here, and what should I do about this? And it's just a good check-in point. So I value it. And I value each and every one of you guys, and I want to say hi. So make sure you're dropping me a comment so I can talk to you guys, and I'd love to hear your words of wisdom on this topic. Really inspired by the conversations that we get to have here. So let me jump in and check in with you guys. So I've got Sarah, awesome, and Madeline and Bina. Happy Monday to you, beautiful. And Sarah, how you going, beautiful? Good to see you. And Evangelist. And amen, love it. And Emma's here, and Jody and Vanessa, yay, and Adrian, awesome. Sarah, this resonates with me. Thank you, Vanessa. You are so welcome, Sarah. I'm always grateful to have you back. And JT in the house, I love it. And Vanessa, so good to see you. And Maddie, I'm always fascinating over everybody, And like I said, I'm never going to stop doing that. And I wish you guys knew everything about personality psychology so I could talk to you on a really deep level about this stuff. But to give you the surface level, any of you guys who are interested in it, by the way, and if you're part of the masterclasses, masterclass number 9, it might be 7. Anyway, it's the neuroscience of personality. If you haven't been with me live for that one, or you haven't got around to watching it yet, what are you doing? You've got to get over to that one. And if you guys aren't currently part of the masterclasses, I really encourage you to join. I haven't put any links up, but if you let me know that you're interested in getting access to all of these deep dives into understanding why you do what you do, the best of the best frameworks for understanding yourself, knowing yourself, and identifying what it is that you really want, navigating those major transitions in the best way possible, and having the courage to actually create the kind of life that you're truly inspired by, that regret-free existence. And you definitely want to be part of the masterclasses. And we've got another masterclass coming up very shortly, this coming week. So Anyway, if you look at the personality, and I'll give you the surface level for my personality. One of the major things that how we operate is in this fascination of human beings. And if you're right here in front of me, you are absolutely the most important person in the entire world, right? Nobody else is more important, like it's you. And then somebody there's a funny joke about my type, which is called an ENFJ, if you're interested. But anyway, somebody else comes in the door and then my attention goes to them and I'm like, you're the most important person in the world and I'm fascinating over them. And then somebody else comes in and then they're the most important person. And that's kind of what can oftentimes get me in trouble, but at the end of the day, I also really love that quality about me and it really energizes me. So I'm willing to take the challenge with that one. So love it, Maddie. Good to see you. And Vanessa, I'm quite an enthusiastic person too, and I can be rather full on, but that's the way I am. I don't know how to be any other way. Vanessa, I love that about you. You are such a beautiful soul, whom I'm incredibly grateful to be connected to, and I wouldn't change a thing, beautiful. I think keep coming up. Enthusiasm is such a fantastic quality to have. I think, that it's energizing. It's being a leader in your energy, and I love it. So, and you're such an open-hearted, just truly genuine woman, and you share such a great name. So I love it. And Alex is here as well. Good to see you. And Vanessa, I remember a quote I read once, never dull your shine to make someone else feel more secure. Exactly. Because you're not actually doing anybody any favors. You're sacrificing the truth of who you are, which just takes you further away from your greatness, from the gifts that you have to share with the world, dulls you down and just, you retreat from the world instead of being of value to the world. And also, you're not supporting that person that you're trying not to be, not to make them insecure, because they need some triggers in their life to make them look at the work that they need to do internally. And I know that experience so much as well. You guys who know me have definitely heard my stories about how all my friendships were all about that. I had to dull myself down. I had to not really have an opinion and just be building people up. And, I that's the work that I do, is to build people up, right? But now I do it in a way that I come from what people really need in order to be their most empowered selves, not just tell them what they want, to make them feel good about themselves, but actually is taking them away from the work that they could be doing to be their most empowered self. So totally resonating with you as always, Vanessa. And Julie's here, and Renee, good to see you. And Sarah, you're like a ray of sunshine. You're so brave and courageous. You're authentic in every way. Oh, you are touching my heart, Sarah. Best compliments ever. I struggle doing live videos because if I'm honest, I'm scared of saying the wrong thing and getting criticized. The weird thing is I'm happier pre-recording videos. I guess we can't control other people's perceptions. I think you're great, Vanessa. Sarah, you are such a beautiful example of the kind of women that I love surrounding myself with. That absolutely touches my heart in a very profound and meaningful way, because so many of us women are so judgmental of other women. We're always criticizing and judging and bringing other women down, and we do it for everyone, but I see this so much with just jealousy, insecurity, all that stuff. And you beautiful women who I do attract into my circle are of the highest quality I have ever met in my life. So I am genuinely and deeply grateful for each and every one of you guys, because you are the kind of women who my success is your success and your success is my success. There's no other way to have connection and relationship. And I read this beautiful quote the other day. I think it was from Whitney Miller. I think that's her name. Aubrey Marcus's ex-partner. I've forgotten her name. I'm pretty sure it is, but she's such a beautiful woman. And she put a quote up with all of her girlfriends, and they're, all such beautiful inside and out people. And she said, women who love themselves love other women. And I thought, wow, that is so spot on. And you've just really spoken into that there, Sarah. And so much love for you. I totally know that jumping on a live video is not easy. I mean, I've done so many by this point that they are easy, and I just feel like I'm having a conversation with you guys now. But definitely weren't in the beginning. I was terrified. It was like, oh my God. Another thing that JT Fox was saying at these events over and over again was, any fear that you have, if you do it 5 times, you get rid of the fear. Okay, so just know it's a numbers game. Stay consistent. The more consistent you are, the more in action you are in a meaningful way, the more your fears will dissipate. So they will go away. And, I'm the opposite to you, Sarah, because when I do a pre-recorded video, which is very rare these days, I mean, all my masterclasses I do live, I do everything live now because I love being able to engage with you guys, and that gives me more energy and it feels a little bit more normal, like I'm having a conversation. And when I do pre-recorded stuff, which as I said is rare, I kind of feel a bit weird. Like I'm like, oh, actually I am doing that in some programs that I've been creating. So yeah, it's not as engaging for me, but we all have our draw cards. But I honestly would totally encourage you to step more into that and let me know when you're going live, and I'll come and support you. Absolutely. So beautiful. Thank you, Sarah. And Jared's here. Good to see you, my friend. And Sarah, how do you get over that, knowing that people won't like you, negative messages, etc.? The end of the day, here's what it comes down to. When you know who you are, and you just align with that, it no longer matters what other people say about you. Honestly, it's when you're trying to be who other people want you to be that you're so shaken up by even the smallest potential criticism or, whatever it is, right? And this I can tell you from experience. When I'm not being totally authentic, if I'm not in alignment, I'm so at the mercy of the judgments and opinions and external feedback, right, from my external world. And when I'm in total alignment, you just get to a point where you just see through it. And when you know that there's what that person is saying has no bearing on who you are, because you know who you are and you're being authentic, like it just doesn't upset you. It might not feel amazing, right? We don't want that. We don't really want people to be judging and criticizing us, but you have compassion because you know that that's not true, because you know who you are and you know why you do what you do. Then you can see that person's judgment or criticism or their anger or frustration or whatever it is, or that meanness or whatever it is, however it shows up, and you just see a reflection of what's going on in their internal world. Whatever we judge in another is really what we're judging within ourselves. Okay, so it's an experiential thing. You will get to know that the more you're in alignment with who you are. And ultimately, that's the work that I always work with people on. Every single one of the masterclasses, every single one of my coaching sessions, every single piece of every course that I create is geared towards helping people know who they are, know what they want, and have the courage and the confidence to go after it. And when you know those, and you're doing those 3 things, no longer matters what's happening in your external world. You just use it for feedback, use it for check-in points, and use it to actually help and support other people and see where they're really at, because everybody's an open book at the end of the day, right? So hope that serves you, and yeah, love it. Love your question. Really hope that resonated with you. And Adrian, don't trade in your authenticity for approval. You can never fail at being yourself. Keep going, Vanessa. I so appreciate you, Adrian, and such wise words as always. I love what you always contribute to our conversations. And yeah, absolutely, never trade your authenticity for approval. And I actually put out I just shared a post that I did a year ago, and you guys might have seen it, but it's your authenticity is your greatest filter, because at the end of the day, when you're authentic, you're going to filter out all the people who just don't resonate with the truth of who you are, and you don't want them around anyway. If you've got to pretend to be somebody that you're not, you don't want those people in your your life. And you're going to absolutely be a magnet. You're going to be attracting the people who just love who you really are, your authenticity. So use your authenticity to be your greatest filter in life and in love and everything that you do, and allow it to guide you in the direction of your most inspired and fulfilling life. So I love that. And thank you so much, Adrian. So appreciate you. Oh, and beautiful Celine's in the house. Only catching you now, babe. Can't wait to watch the replay. You look beautiful today. I hope you are fully rested. Thank you, beautiful. Yeah, my hair's all wet. I just got out of the shower before, and I so appreciate you, beautiful. It's always great to see you and connect with you, and I love that I'm doing my Facebook Lives a little bit later at the moment, and I get to catch you live. So yeah, hope you catch a recording. Hope this one resonates with you. I love that. And Sarah, please can you send me the link to your masterclasses? Absolutely, I'll do that as soon as we're off the call today. Sort of like a call, but I can't hear you guys, unfortunately, off the video, off the live. And I hope to see you in there, Sarah. It'll be amazing. And Celine, highly recommend anyone who isn't part of the masterclasses to join, as the information in there is life-changing. Love the personality psychology one, studying it currently, and it has been so empowering for me to finally understand myself for the first time in my life. You are so beautiful, Celine. That is the one. You guys are just rocking me with the compliments. Another beautiful example of an extraordinary woman who is not threatened by other women shining and doing great things, but actually sees that as, let's build those people up. Let's be supportive and encouraging. Your success is my success. My success is your success. Such a big mouthful, but it's so true. And that is so heart-touching for me. My beautiful friend, my beautiful Irish sister, I love you. And thank you so much for sharing that and your experience. And Vanessa, can't wait for the next masterclass. Can't wait to see you there, beautiful. Always love getting to connect. And Graham's here, and Choppy, and Vanessa, Sarah. Thank you, Vanessa. You are so welcome. Thanks for showing up. And Joe, hi Vanessa. Oh, low battery mode. Hi Vanessa, I'm in the UK and love your messages. I need to know more about your masterclasses, please. Joe, thank you so much. I don't think we've connected before. I haven't seen you on here, but so beautiful to hear from you. And I love and am so grateful that you are finding value in these messages. And I will definitely send you over the link to join us in the masterclasses. That would be amazing. And thanks for being here and letting me know. And definitely, Celine, Seymour. Sarah, listen to Vanessa. She is such an amazing coach. Oh, you guys are touching me at my heart. People love to judge others because it strangely justifies their lives. Step into your own power. Let people's opinions just be that, their opinions. Best of luck. Celine, thank you so much for being such a beautiful soul. I love it more than anything when you guys connect in this community. That's part of my ultimate vision, is the community that we can build of like minds who are there to support and encourage the best out of one another, who demand you to just be your best, step into your greatness, step into your authenticity, reach for your potential. Don't just settle and don't dull yourself down because of the judgments and insecurities of others. So honored to be connected with you, beautiful women. And Celine, thank you so much for sharing that with the beautiful Sarah. And Carl's in the house as well. Awesome. And Gamal, great to see you back again, my friend. Awesome and look gorgeous today. I like the subject, and unfortunately people tend to look for a return from any sort of sacrifice they make. That is true, and I'm grateful that you are liking today's message today. At the end of the day, I don't like the word sacrifice, like I said, but you do need to be willing to, in the words of Dr. John Demartini, turn down the voices in the external world who are judging and criticizing, and turn up the voice in the inside that's in total alignment with who you are. Listen to your internal world, be guided by that. Go from the inside out rather than the outside in, and like I said earlier, I'd rather, have the whole world against me than my own internal soul, like my way of being in the world, right? So I love that. And what you've shared there, Gamal, thank you so much. And Alex, authenticity is pulling me toward learning how to live and learn. Feeling at one with you, Vanessa. Thank you so much. Grateful to have you here. And absolutely, you know, authenticity is the most courageous act that we can engage in, to just be authentic, to just be who we really are. But the problem is, most of us don't know who we are because we're so geared towards looking at what does everybody want from me, what's going to be accepted, what's going to, make sure that I'm loved and approved of, that we haven't actually given ourselves permission to just identify who we are, what we stand for, what we stand against, the quality of life that we really are inspired by. We're not trying to mold to the expectations of others. And it is a learning process. And that's absolutely, as I said earlier, that's why I do the work that I do, to help you guys to know who you are, to know what you want, to have the courage to be all of who you can be, and to surround yourself with people who build you up in a truthful way, not just kind of, sugarcoating stuff. Actually, they demand you to be authentic. They demand for you to be all of who you are. And that's the quality of people that we all need in our lives. And that's the community that I feel I am building with your help. And I'm so, so, so grateful for each and every one of you guys. Really hope this message definitely resonated and supported each and every one of you guys. I am deeply grateful for your contributions and you sharing your words of wisdom and the love. I just got total authenticity from each and every one of you guys, and that's what's most inspiring to me. So thanks for being the reason why I do what I do. And as always, guys, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary. And today's message has definitely served you. And if it has, and if you want other people in your life to be more authentic and to let you be more authentic, then please do share this message with them. I would be absolutely forever grateful for any of these messages that resonate with you and you feel like they've been valuable. Whether you do it publicly or privately, please do share these messages. It's one of the greatest gifts that you can give to me, to be able to get into ideally the minds and the hearts of other extraordinary human beings and get to serve the mission that I'm on. So couldn't do it without you guys. So much love for each and every one of you. And Alex, you are so welcome, my friend. And Savula, great to have you catching me live. I'm just about to sign off, so I hope that you catch the recording, get a ton of value from today's message. I'm signing off. I'm sending you guys all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. Much love.